Are you feeling stuck, uncertain, or just struggling to get clear on where you're headed with your business and life? If that's you, today's episode is for you. We're going to dive into 3 things that you must do to get clear on your goals and visions so you can build a business and life that works for you and not the other way around. You are listening to Homeschool Moms in Business, where I help homeschooling moms gain clarity and create effective, systemized business plans around their creative passions, empowering them to confidently launch and grow their businesses while only working 10 hours or less a week. I'm Samantha Welch, a homeschool mom and creative business coach who turned my photography passion into a thriving business, all while keeping my schedule manageable and family-centered, and I'm here to help you do the same. I am so excited for this episode because I feel like that once I nailed these things down, everything else kind of fell into place. So in case you're new here, I'm Samantha Welch. I teach homeschool moms how to build thriving businesses in a limited amount of time a week. I've learned firsthand that without clarity, it is easy to get caught up in the busyness that doesn't move the needle. So today I'm going to walk you through the exact process I teach inside my course, breaking it down into simple steps. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the first step is that you have to define your values and priorities. Before you set any goals, you need to define what actually matters to you. If you don't, you'll set goals based on what you think you should do rather than what you actually should do and what actually fits into your life and your season of life. So here's some things to ask yourself. What are my top priorities right now? Is it spending more time homeschooling? Maybe you feel like that you don't get to spend as much time as you would like homeschooling. Is it getting your business in place where it supports your family financially? So this may be a time when you need to work a little bit more on your business. Is it creating more time to rest and be present with your family? That's a big one. So why is it important for us to identify our top priorities? Well, when your goals align with your values, you're more likely to stick with them because you're actually working towards what's important. And you will avoid burnout of chasing things that don't actually fit in your life. Remember that you can only say yes to so much, and every time you say yes to something, you say no to something else. So for me, I had to get really clear on my own values before I could structure my business the way I wanted. And I knew I didn't want to work full time, and I couldn't while homeschooling my kids and taking care of my home and my farm. And so I had to build a system that allowed me to work efficiently while keeping my family as the top priority. And so that's why I even created the course that I am so excited to say that I'm about to put into beta launch. I am super excited about this. But yeah, so I had to build a system, and I've actually kind of become obsessed with time and using all of my resources most efficiently. So the action I want you to take on this first step is I would love for you to take 5 minutes and either grab something to write on or make a voice note and list your top 3 life priorities right now. What in your life are non-negotiables? What must you spend time on? What is important to you? And then use these as a filter for any other goals that you set. So if a goal doesn't support these priorities, then it's got to go. And it's probably not worth pursuing in this season. But remember, life is seasons. So if you do have a goal that you will eventually want to do, you can put it back in your mind and just know that this is not the right season for it. So let's talk about step 2. Step 2 is to create a simple, actionable vision. Once you know your priorities, the next step is to create a vision for your business and for your life. And no, I don't mean like some long, complicated business plan or like how you want your life to run. What I really mean is a simple, clear picture of what success looks like to you. And it's going to look so different for you than it is for me, and that's the beauty of this. So let's talk about how you can practically do this. The first thing is I want you to picture what your business and life will look like in the 6 months to a year from now. So if you want to, grab your piece of paper again, take voice notes, and list out the picture of what you want your business and life to look like in 6 months to a year. And keep it simple. I know that we can get overcomplicated where we do this whole big long thing, but we want to keep it really simple. Think about things like, how much do you want to work each week on your business, and how much do you need to have for your personal stuff? Also, think about, what kind of clients do you want to serve? What kind of people do you mentally have the capacity to serve right now? Because sometimes when we're in these hard seasons, we really need more of a low maintenance client. Also, what kind of impact do you want your business to have? What kind of impact do you want your personal life to have? Think about those things. Why this works is because a simple vision gives you direction without overwhelm. So we don't want to overcomplicate this. We just want like a simple, this is what I would like this to look like in 6 months to a year from now. And you can make a decision quickly because you know where you're heading. You know what's important to you. You know what you want your life to look like. So you know whether you should say no to that client or you should say yes to that client. You know whether you should say yes to that obligation or no to that obligation. So again, grab your notebook or your voice note and write or speak a short paragraph just describing what your ideal business and life will look like in 6 months. And keep it short. No more than 4 or 5 sentences. Just keep it super short and sweet so you have something you can work towards. And then step 3, this is like practical, is break it down into a plan. So now that you have clarity on your priorities and vision, it's time to break it down into an actual plan. I love this. This is my favorite part of all because I love helping somebody get to where they can break things down step by step by step so they know exactly what they need to do every single day. But I do want to throw out here that most people do get stuck on this because they either set vague goals that have no action plan, or they overload themselves with a massive to-do list and they get super overwhelmed. But I want this to be a simple breakdown method. So we want to take your vision, we want to break it down into 3 or 4 areas. So an example of this is you may just need to grow your email list so you can get in front of more people on a weekly basis. So that might be something that you're like, okay, this aligns with my vision. I have enough time. This is what I need to do. Or maybe you need to go ahead and launch a full out product or something. So you go ahead and you do that. Maybe you need to improve systems and utilize your resources. So you need to go and you need to do some research and teach yourself how to utilize your resources. Maybe it's just simply that you just work whenever you can, but this season is really not the season for work. And so if we are needing to step away from our business for a season, that's perfectly fine. The next thing is under each focus area, because remember, we're breaking our vision down into 3 focus areas. So under each focus area, write 3 small actionable steps you can take this month. So if you're like building an email list, you could say, okay, I need to have my email provider. I need to draft my first 5 emails, and I need to schedule when I'm going to send them out. So that's simple. The focus point was email lists, and those are your 3 breakdown things. And then the next thing is to schedule these 3 steps into your week in a way that works for your time and your energy. Because the thing is that we can do this whole vision and goal setting. We can do the whole breakdown and we can break it down even more. But if we don't actually implement these things, we're not going to get anywhere. And the best way I have found personally to do that is to literally put it in my calendar. So I know that it's due, like it has to be done. And that will help me to get it done even better. So when I decided to actually launch this podcast, which has been a while now, I did the same thing. I had my focus and then I had the steps under it. So I knew like I need to figure out where it was going to be hosted. I needed to plan out what my topics were going to be, like who I was even speaking to. And then I needed to plan the episodes. And so it was really clear on what I needed to do in order to get the podcast launched. So the action steps for this, because you guys know I love action steps, is to pick the 3 focus areas that will move you closer to your vision. And then I want you to write or do a voice recording and do the small action steps for each of them. So have your big step and then then break it down into 3 small steps, and then plug them into your calendar so that you'll actually do it. So it's scheduled there so you're seeing it when you're planning. And all right, so anyway, I thought this was super fun, but I love this. I love dreaming and planning goals and visions, and then like having those actionable steps to like implement it. So I'm going to do a quick recap. First, you're going to define your values and priorities so you don't waste time on things that don't matter. Second, create a simple, actionable vision for your business that aligns with your life. And 3, break it down into a plan with 3 focus areas. And then under those 3 focus areas, do 3 small actionable steps that will get you there. That's it for today. I hope you go take action on this, and I would love to hear from you. So if you want to go follow me on Instagram, just tell me like what goals you're planning, how this is working for you. I would love to hear from you. And also, be on the lookout, because in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I am going to be launching my beta of my new course. And I'm still thinking about what the title of it will be, but it is going to teach homeschool moms how to get very clear on their goals and their vision, and then how to systematize and utilize their resources so that they can get more done in less amount of time and be able to do it all and do it well. I am so excited about this, and I will give you guys all more details as it starts rolling out. So excited for this. I hope you walked away from this episode inspired to go and implement these things into your life and business. Remember to head to the show notes to get any links, guides, or discounts that were mentioned. And while you're there, leave me a 5-star review. Your feedback is the only way that I know you're enjoying and finding this podcast helpful. Until next episode, remember, it's those small daily steps that build big dreams.